सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। हरिः ओम् श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम्. In Bhagavad Gita, in 8th chapter, we have completed 24th sloka. Let us revise the 24th sloka again and then go forward. Sloka number 24 in chapter 8. Agni Jyotiraha Suklaha Shanmasa Uttarayanam Tatra Prayata Gachanti Brahma Brahma Vido Janaha. Jyotihi. Jyotihi means the well-lit path. Agnihi. Agni Abhimana Devata. Brahmavidaha. Brahmavidaha means not jnanis. Those who meditate Saguna Brahma, Saguna Ishvara, Janaha, Upasakas, the meditators. Prayata, after the death, they reach. Ahaha means the day Devata. Sukraha, Suklapaksha Devata. Shanmasa Uttarayanam. The Uttarayanam, which consists of 6 months. The Devata presiding in that time period. Tatra Brahma Gachanti. So they go in that Sukla Marga and they attain that Brahma Pada. Having reached Brahma Loka, they attain Brahma. They attain Brahma means not directly, but paramparaya, by the knowledge that is given by Chaturmukha Brahma, they get Krama Mukti. So Saguna Upasakas, they go to Brahma Loka through Jyotirmaya Margam, the well-lit path. So for this path, there are certain presiding deities. One is Agni Devata, then Suklapaksha Devata, Uttarayana, Shanmasa Uttarayana Devata, then De Devata. They take this Saguna Upasaka to Brahma Loka. And then in that Brahma Loka, he gets Krama Mukti. So this is described here. Tatra Prayata. Tatra means in the Devayana Marga. Prayata means those who travel. Brahma Gachanti. Brahma Gachanti means they attain Brahma. Attain Brahma means not through Jnanam. They are not Jnanis, they are Ajnanis. They only did meditation. So they go there and get Krama Mukti. This is Paramparaya Moksham. Paramparaya Moksham means there Chaturmukha Brahma teaches them Tattvamasi, and they understand Aham Brahmasmi. So while living in that Brahma Loka, they get Jivan Mukti and then Videha Mukti. Our Pujya Swamiji often tells humorously, having gone there, they realize, it seems, we have not paid heed to Swami Dayanandaji at Rishikesh. Though he was talking about Jivan Mukti and Videha Mukti, we did not pay heed and we had to come all the way to Brahmaloka and learn the same thing. So the Suklagati is also described in Upanishads. So these Devatas, like a relay race, they take these Saguna Upasakas up to some point and hand over the sadhaka to the presiding deity there. So the Devatas are territorial. They have a territory. Up to that territory, they escort the sadhaka and hand over to the next Devata. Like that, the Devatas they take the sadhaka to through Suklamarga to Satyaloka or Brahmaloka. Now these lokas, these devatas mentioned here are different from, their names are not exactly same as it is mentioned in Upanishads. So there is a discussion in Brahma Sutras, and Brahma Sutras gives out an elaborate list of the devatas presiding in this Devayana Marga. So this Adhisthana Devata in the Brahmaloka is Hiranyagarbha. Samashti Sushma Prapancha Adhisthana Devata. So that Hiranyagarbha teaches them Brahma Vidya. Brahma Vido Janaha. Brahma Vido Janaha means not Brahmajnanis, those who meditate Saguna Ishvara. So this is what we have learnt in the last class. Now we'll proceed to sloka number 25. Dhumo ratristada krishnaha shanmasa dakshanayanam tatra chandramasam jyotihi yogi prapya nivartate. Dhumaha ratrihi tada krishnaha pakshaha shanmasa dakshanayanam tatra kale prayataha yogi chandramasam jyotihi prapya nivartate. Dhumaha means Dhumabhimana Devata. For each one you have to add the word Devata. They are all presiding deities. So you have to add the word Devata and make it complete. Ratri Abhimana Devata. Tada Krishna means Krishna Abhimana, Krishna Paksha Abhimana Devata. Shanmasa Dakshanayanam. The 6 months period of Dakshanayanam, there is a presiding deity. So that Dakshanayana Abhimana Devata. Tatra, in the Dhuma Marga, in the dark path, yogi. Yogi means one who performs only rituals. He doesn't resort to the meditation. He doesn't adopt meditation. Chandramasam Jyotihi. He goes to Chandraloka. Chandramasam Jyotihi Prapya. Having gone to Chandraloka, and he enjoys the comforts and luxuries there, and Nivartate. He comes back to the Mathyalokam, that is Bhulokam. That is what it is mentioned here. Tatra. Tatra means the second Margam, or the second route. You have to add Prayata. It is not there in the sloka, you have to add Prayata. So those who travel in the second path. The name of the path is not mentioned in the sloka, we have to add Krishna Paksha Marga. So Krishna Marga. The word Krishna means dark. See, people aspire to go to Swargaloka. Why it is said Krishna Marga? Because compared to the Sukla Marga, this is not that well lit. Why it is not well lit? It is figurative. We'll understand. Yogi Prapya. Yogi Prapya means here, those who perform Kevala Karma and those who have not adopted Upasana, they go to the Swargam or Chandralokam through Krishna Margam. So, Manasika Sadhana is superior to Saririka Sadhana. So, doing rituals, that too elaborate rituals people do, and compared to these rituals, the Manasika sadhana is much superior. That's what Paramatma wants to emphasize. Chandramasam Jyotihi. Those who does karma, they will go to Chandraloka. Chandraloka means Swargalokam. Bhulokam, above Bhulokam, there are 6 more lokas. Bhuvaha, Suvaha, Mahaha, Tapaha, Janaha, Satya. This Satyalokam is Brahmalokam. Whereas these people who adopt the Krishnalokam, they only go to Swargaloka. And once their punyam is exhausted, they return to earth. So this is what is mentioned. This is what is mentioned here in this sloka. Dhumaha ratrihi Krishnaha shanmasa dakshanayanam. So the presiding deities are mentioned here. Dhuma Devata, Ratri Devata, Krishna Paksha Devata, Dakshanayana Devata. So these are the 4 devatas mentioned here. In Upanishads, there are more devatas who take the sadhaka to Swargaloka. So all that list, long list is given in Brahmaloka. Now Chandramasam Jyotihi. This is Swargalokam. So Swargalokam they go, and this lokam is Krishna Margam, it is said. Krishna Margam is because when compared to the first Marga, which is Sukla Margam, Sukla Gati, the Krishna Gati is inferior. Why? Because Krishna Gati, those who travel through Krishna Gati, they reach Swargam, enjoy their lot and come back. Whereas those who reach the Satyalokam through Sukla Margam, they get the knowledge through Chaturmukha Brahmaji and they don't return. So that is what it is mentioned. Prapya Nivartate. Prapya Nivartate means there is a good news, there is a bad news. Prapya means first they go to Swargalokam. That's a good news, undoubtedly. Because that's what all Puranas praise. For going to Swargaloka, we do a lot of rituals here. The bad news is once their punyam is exhausted, they are dropped to earth. Whereas those who go to Satyaloka, they attain Kramamukti by the teachings of Chaturmukha Brahmaji. So this is what we understand here. The Krishna Marga is black in color. This is called Krishna Gati. This doesn't mean that the Marga is very dark. It is only a comparison. When you compare the Sukla Marga with Krishna Marga, the Sukla Marga is superior to Krishna Marga. So, Krishna Marga is said to be dark in color. It is something like, those black dots in sun. It is something like black dots in sun. In fact, there are no black dots. The entire solar disk is bright and brilliant. But in that brilliance, there is a relative brilliance. A part where it is less brilliant appears as dark. So in the same way, the Krishna Marga is also bright, but compared to the Sukla Marga, it is less brighter. Therefore, compared to the Sukla Marga, Krishna Marga is less brighter. Therefore, it is called dark path. It is called dark path. Sloka number 26. Sukla Krishne gate hyete jagata sasvate mate yakaya yatyana vruttim anyaya vartate punaha. Jagataha. In this Jagat, yete Sukla Krishne gate, there are two different paths. One is called Sukla Margam, other is called Krishna Margam. One is called Devayana Margam, other is called Pitruyana Margam. Sasvate means they are very ancient. They are very old margas which have been there from the very Srishti. Sasvate Mate, supposed to be existing from the time of Srishti. Ekaya Anavrittim. Out of this, one margam gives you a non-returnable end. Ekaya Anavrittim Yati. One path, that is Sukla Margam, gives you a non-returnable destination. Anyaya punaha avartate. The other one, you have to come back. In the other path, you have to come back to the earth. Jagataha yete hi sukra krishnagate sasvate mate. So in this Jagat, there are two different margas, two different paths, Sukla Margam and Krishna Margam, or Devayana Margam, Pitruyana Margam. Both are supposed to be very ancient, and they are there from the Vedic times, out of which Devayana Marga gives you a non-returnable destination, whereas the Pitruyana Marga gives you a returnable destination. Sukla Krishne Gati Hete. These two margas are popularly known as Sukla and Krishna. The word Gati, we have to add for each word and make it Sukla Gati and Krishna Gati. Sukla Margam and Krishna Margam, or Devayana Margam and Pitruyana Margam. When did God create these two margas? Jagata Sasvate Mate. When Paramatma created this world, these two margas are also created. It is not that after he created the Jagat, after some gap, he has created the paths. So, along with the people, along with Jagat, along with Vedas, along with Veda karmas, the two paths were also given. So he said, Sasvate Mate, very ancient. They are there from the Vedic times. Ekaya Anavrittim Yati, one who takes up the Sukla Marga goes to Krama Mukti. Krama Mukti means it is like this. Or people go to America. There are two ways. They can go directly by a flight, or sometimes they go to a transit. Sometimes they go to a transit point, and from there they go to the destination. Like London is a transit point. So the Krama Mukti is like this. First they go to Brahma Loka. Those who opt Suklamargam, they go to Brahmaloka and get the knowledge from Brahmaji, Chaturmukha Brahmaji, and then go to Chaturmukha Brahmaji, get Jivan Mukti and Videha Mukti. Anyaya avartate punaha. The other marga, they don't get Jivan Mukti. On the contrary, after they exhaust their punyam, they return to earth. Here, Paramatma is very compassionate. He said they return to earth. Mundaka Upanishad is very frank. In Mundaka Upanishad, it is said that Imam lokamba hinataramba vishanti. Either this loka or the lokas beneath this, which are the lokas of punishments. Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Rasatala, Mahatala, Talatala, Patala. So all these lokas, they are, thrown after the completion of Sargaloka Prapti. Now, there is a misconception in interpreting this sloka. People think that the time decides, the time of death decides which loka the person has to go. If a person dies in the daytime, during Sukla Paksha, during Uttarayana time, then he will go to the Satyaloka. Otherwise, the Krishna Marga, he will go to Swargaloka. Now there are certain flaws in this. What are the flaws? If the time decides which marga a person goes, then many people who are, very bad in this world, they did all kinds of wrong things and they die in Sukla Paksham, in the daytime, and in Uttarayana. We see, if you take the statistics, we see there are many people, many criminals, they die in this auspicious time. It amounts that they go to the Satyaloka. And again, those pious people, Sant Purush, very adorable people, they die in Dakshinayanam. So, the time doesn't decide. It is not the time that matters for the marga, for the Krishna marga or Sukla marga. These are only devatas who accompany, who escort the sadhaka at the time of death to take them to these lokas. Not only that, according to the calendar, there are only two margas. There are only two times Krishna, 6 months, which is Uttarayana Punyakalam, and 6 months, which is Dakshinayana Kalam. There is no other time. Either it is Dakshinayana Kalam or Uttarayana Kalam. According to this theory, the person will either go to Swargaloka or Satyaloka after death. He will not go to Narakaloka, which is not correct. If a person does all kinds of criminal things here in this earth, he will go to Narakaloka. So, this theory, the time decides where a person goes, is not correct. And not only that, if you take the, the combination like Uttarayanam, but Krishna Paksham. In Uttarayana Kalam also you get Sukla Paksham and Krishna Paksham. So in Uttarayana Kalam, Krishna Paksham, a person dies. Which loka he will go? Similarly, in Uttarayana Kalam, Sukla Paksham, during night he dies. How do you decide? So this way, it is very difficult to say that a person goes to Satyaloka or the Swargaloka according to the time. It is only how he lives in this world, the way of his living decides which loka he has to go, what kind of noble things he has taken up. That only decides which loka he is entitled, which loka he goes, not the time of death. So this is what we have to understand clearly. Naite sruti pardha janan yogi muhyati kachana. Naite sruti pardha janan yogi muhyati kachana. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu yoga yukto bhavarjuna. Hey Arjuna, hey Partha, yete sruti janan kaschana yogi nam. Hey Partha, yete sruti janan kaschana yogi namuhyati. Tasmat he Arjuna tvam sarveshu kaleshu yoga yuktaha bhava. Arjuna, there are two margas. A yogi is not deluded. Arjuna, those who understand these two margas clearly, such yogi is not deluded. Therefore, be a yogi in all times. So, you take up upasana and try to get krama mukti. So here Paramatma talks about two different lakshyas, two different targets, two different margas, two different sadhanas. Naite sruti janan. Sruti means gati, margas. Having understood these two margas, having understood Devayana marga and Pitruyana marga, one path which gives you a non-returnable destination, a path which gives you a returnable destination. So if one understands, naturally one prefers a non-returnable destination. That is Sukla Margam. Yogi kaschana muhyati. So a person is never deluded. Yogi means a viveki. He knows karma margam is better or upasana margam is better. Because he knows those who take up only karma, they are not entitled to Satyaloka. They can go up to Swargaloka only, they can go up to Pitru Lokas only. And they have to return back. Arjuna, tasmat sarveshu kaleshu. Therefore, O Arjuna, always and always take up upasana. Enjoy upasana in your karma. Yoga yuktaha bhava. So, you take up Upasana Marga along with karma. You have to do dharma, you have to take up Panchamahayajnas and do all para upakara karmas, but you enjoin Upasana also. So here we have to carefully understand one thing. The two margas, karma, upasana, are clearly mentioned here. Nowhere in this chapter, Krishna Paramatma talked about jnanam. Here this chapter is entirely dedicated to upasana. So he wanted to highlight upasana is superior to karma. By adding upasana to karma, you will go to this Satyaloka. That is the teaching of Krishna Paramatma. So he never said that these two are superior to jnanam. Here the jnanam is not talked about. So it is never the comparison with jnanam. You must understand this. 8th chapter is a special chapter. Krishna Paramatma is very compassionate about those who cannot accommodate jnanam. What is the alternative? So he has given an alternative, that is krama mukti. So we'll see 28th sloka. Vedeshu yajneshu tapassu chaiva daneshu yat punya palam pradishtam atyeti tat sarvamidam viditva yogi param sthanam upaiti chadyam. Vedeshu yogi idam viditva. Vedeshu yajneshu tapahasu daneshu cha eva yat punyafalam pradishtam tat sarvam atyeti adyam paramam cha sthanam upaiti. Yogi idam viditva. Yogi here means the Saguna Brahma Upasaka. Idam viditva means he understands the Tattva Rahasya of Upasana. Vedeshu, by the Veda Patanam. Yajneshu, by the Yajnas. Tapassu, by doing tapas. Daneshu, by doing dhanam. Yet punyapalam pradishtam. Whatever the punyam that is promised in these actions, tat sarvam eva atyeti. So you will go beyond all these things. Adyam paramam sthanam upaiti. So he attains Brahma. He attains Brahma. Saguna Upasaka, he understands the Hiranyagarbha and meditates on Hiranyagarbha. When he meditates on Saguna Brahma, the phalam is much superior. Superior when compared to the yajnas, tapaha, dhanam, and all similar things. So he gets such a punyam which takes him to the Satyaloka. So this sloka 28 is a upasamhara slokam. It's a conclusion of this chapter 8. So Paramatma is praising the upasana yogam. He says that Kramamukti gives you Aikyam with Brahma. Aikyam with Brahma means in Kramamukti you get Jivan Mukti and Videha Mukti. I already told you, if you have to go to America, there are two methods. Either you take up a direct flight or take up a transit flight, go to Dubai and from Dubai you go to the place you want. So, like that, this Kramamukti is like that. The sadhaka goes to Brahmaloka. And in Brahmaloka, he gets Atma Vidya, taught by Chaturmukha Brahmaji. And he understands and assimilates that knowledge in Brahmaloka. He enjoys Jivan Mukti in Brahmaloka. And from there, he gets the Videha Mukti. This is the meaning of this sloka. Yogi idam sarvam viditva. The sadhaka understands this thoroughly. Param sthanam upaiti. Param sthanam upaiti means he gets krama mukti. He becomes one with Bhagavan. So here Bhagavan is Saguna Ishvara. Param Adyam Sthanam. He is the most exalted, beginningless target, beginningless Gamyam. Adyam means he is the Mula Karanam. Param means most exalted. So, such a Nitya Ishvara Upaiti. So, he unites with such Ishvara. He becomes one with Ishvara. Vedeshu, by Veda Parayanam, by chanting whatever is the punyam you get. Yajneshu, by performing yajnas. Tapassu, by doing tapaha. Daneshu, by doing charity. Yat punyaphalam pradishtam. So whatever is the punya promised by these activities, tat sarvam atyeti. That sarvam atyati means he gets a punyam beyond this because of his upasana balam. He gets a punyam much superior to this. That's how he goes to Brahmaloka. Therefore, O Arjuna, don't miss this. If you think that you are not capable enough to accommodate Atma Vidya, you have to resort to Upasana, Saguna Ishvara Upasana. You enjoin along with your Karma Yoga and go to the Satyaloka and enjoy the Satyaloka, and there Chaturmukha Brahmaji blesses you with the teaching. Thereby you get Kramam. With this, the Akshara Parabrahma Yogam is over. In this particular chapter, the Prayana Kala Smaranam is emphasized. So, we have completed the chapter 8. So, in this chapter, Paramatma emphasized Upasana Yoga. He mentioned that one who does Kevala Karma and will not take up Upasana, he will go to Swargaloka. He is not entitled to Satyalokam. So, what is the end result after completion of his period, tenure? He has to come back, has to return to earth. So, that is the fate of the Kevala Karmata. Those who take up only karma will go to the lower realms of heaven and come back. They have to return to the Matyaloka, to earth. The second option is, if you enjoin, if you add upasana also along with karma yogam, and if you perform upasana also, then you are entitled to Satyalokam. In Satyalokam, you don't get the union with Brahma directly. There what happens? You have to attend Brahmaji's teachings. Chaturmukha Brahmaji will teach you the Atma Vidya. And you have to understand the Atma Vidya, assimilate and stay in that Nishtha. Thereby, you get Jivan Mukti and Videha Mukti. Both are promised. This is called Krama Mukti, which is promised for those sadhakas who have added upasana along with karma yoga. In this chapter, it is also mentioned that a person must remember his Ishtadaivam at the time of death. Prayana kale Ishvara Smaranam. This is one important aspect which is mentioned here in this particular chapter. So with this, we have completed the chapter 8. In the next class, I will do the summary of this 8th chapter. Om Tatsaditi Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Sri Krishna Arjuna Sambade Akshara Brahma Yogo Nama Ashtamodhyayaha. Om Tatsat Sarvam Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.